Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is David, and we are back with another library tour. Yes, I figured why not? This is a quick and easy one to knock out, and I feel like it's going to take more than this year to get through them at the pace I've been going. So let's get back to it. What I'm doing is I'm grabbing 10 books off the shelf. I have them organized paperbacks, then trade paperbacks, then hardcovers, and within each of those I have them alphabetized by author. So we last got through the Asimovs and saw Ball. And so we are picking up there in the B's in the mass market paperbacks for this fourth library tour. And what I'm doing is I'm just reading the back of them to give you an idea of what they're about, in case you're interested, as well as to help me determine whether or not they hold my interest enough to stay on the shelf. And so far, I am batting 1,000 on them staying. There's a couple iffy ones, but so far, none of them have been instant, oh no, I don't want this. So we are starting with Clive Barker, The Thief of Always. Mr. Hood's holiday house has stood for 1,000 years, welcoming countless children into its embrace. It is a place of miracles, a blissful round of treats and seasons where every childhood whim may be satisfied. There is a price to be paid, of course, but young Harvey Swick, bored with his life and beguiled by Mr. Hood's wonders, does not stop to consider the consequences. It is only when the house shows its darker face, when Harvey discovers the pitiful creatures that dwell in its shadows, that he comes to doubt Mr. Hood's philanthropy. The house and its mysterious architect are not about to release their captive without a battle. However, Mr. Hood has ambitions for his new guest, for Harvey's soul burns brighter than any soul he has encountered in 1,000 years. That sounds really interesting. Dark, but interesting. That one's probably going to stay around. So this is Iris. This is by William Barton and Michael Capobianco. I do like the artwork there on the cover. It says a small, disaffected group of artists, scientists, and software developers en route to a Titan, the crew of Deep Star, was seeking escape, isolation, and refuge when Iris wandered into the solar system. Now curiosity and wonder are drawing the star travelers to the mysterious gas giant and its hospitable moons, for here lies their long-sought dream of a new home and future. But an alien space-going vessel, unimaginably ancient yet astonishingly still operational, has been left behind on the surface of one of Iris's orbiting satellites by a strange and unknown culture. And the extraordinary artifact is pointing the colonists toward an even more remarkable discovery awaiting them on Iris itself. Something deadly, inconceivable, and alive. That sounds pretty good, too. At this rate, I'm not going to trim down my collection, which is okay. Like, I would rather have all books that I am genuinely curious to read than a bunch of ones that maybe I'll get to them, maybe I won't. So next, we have right here Dark Sky Legion by William Barton. It's almost a Garbagasi cover. The Apocalypse Man. He looks young, but he's really millennia old. He comes without warning, except for the one-word command, prepare. A vast and all-powerful technology at his personal disposal. His job is to uphold the status quo, to prevent change, to preserve the metastable order. Marin Thurian is a televox, and his is the supreme test of character, judgment. Among the countless planets in his domain, he lands on dry, remote Olam, a complex planet whose social and political structure has deviated far from the order he has sworn to uphold. Alone, he must decide the fate of Olam and its inhabitants. Alone, he has the power to lay waste to a star system, uncreate a civilization, annihilate billions of lives. He has only one weakness. It's called conscience. So, this one sounds a lot like a Criminale kind of book, doesn't it? A little thicker than I would want on that. I don't know. I mean, it's about 400 pages long. It could be good. It could be really trash. I don't know. Have you read it? If so, please let me know. Is it any good? All right, so we have another tour double. We have Greg Bear Hard Fought and Timothy Zahn Cascade Point. So for Hard Fought, we have She Would Be a Woman If She Returned. The tempers come, moans tiding in, then the battle data. As it passed into her subconscious, she caught a flash of rocks and ice. A thick cloud of dust and gas glowing red but seeming dark. No stars, no constellation guides this time. The beacon came on. That would be her only way to orient once the glove stopped inertial and locked onto the target. The seed ship was like a shadow within a shadow, 22 kilometers across, yet carrying only 6 teams. Launch. She flies. Then Cascade Point. I will never understand how the first person to test the drive made it past this point. The images silently surrounding me at bare arm's length away were life-size, lifelike, and as solid as the panels and chairs they seemed to have displaced. All of them were me. 5 seconds later, the second set of images appeared, perfectly aligned with the first. After that, they came more and more quickly. I watched, forced myself to watch. I knew I had to watch as the lines continued to lengthen. I took a long, shuddering breath. You don't have to look, I told myself, eyes rigidly fixed on the back of the image in front of me. You've seen it all before. But I'd fought this fight before, and I knew I would lose. Bracing myself, I turned my head and gazed down the line of images strung out to my left. Somehow, this space links us into alternate realities, universes that might have been if things had gone differently. I was seeing images of what I would be doing in each of those universes. That one sounds really interesting. And of course, that one sounds fascinating too. So next we have Looking Backward by Edward Bellamy. I think this might be short stories. No? Maybe? So, Looking Backward. Nope. Okay. It's got a foreword by Eric Fromm. The hero is anyone who has ever longed for escape to a better life. The time is tomorrow. The place is a utopian America. This is the backdrop for Edward Bellamy's prophetic novel about a young Boston gentleman who is mysteriously transported from the 19th to the 21st century, from a world of war and want to a world of peace and plenty. Translated into more than 20 languages and the most widely read novel of its time, Looking Backward is more than a brilliant visionary's view of the future. It is a blueprint of the perfect society, a guidebook that stimulated some of the greatest thinkers of our age, John Dewey, Charles Beard, and Edward Weeks, and separate surveys conducted in 1935 listed Edward Bellamy's novel as the most influential work written by an American in the preceding 50 years. I imagine at least some of you have probably read this. Let me know. How is it? Is it as good as that back makes it sound? Or is this one that hasn't aged well with time and is probably one I could skip? Especially looking towards you, Steve Donahue. Let me know. All right, so we have some Alfred Bester. I need to get back to some Alfred Bester, and this is The Deceivers. This is the true successor to The Stars My Destination. Rogue Winter, king of the Maori Commandos, star-studded cosmic Casanova, embarks on a fabulous journey across the solar system in search of his kidnapped lover, Demi Giroux, cruising the seedy solar circuit from the paradise of carnal pleasures to the bloody torture chambers of the asteroid Triton. Rogue uncovers a grisly pattern of evil, a snake pit of spies and skullduggery, blackmail and murder. God, that sounds good. Kidnapped by the demonic Manchu Duke of Death, Demi is a pawn in his sadistic struggle for control of the metacrystals, a super-secret source of unlimited energy concealed deep beneath the surface Triton. Rogue is one of the few men alive capable of following the Manchu's trail. On his interplanetary voyage in pursuit of the deadly Manchu, Rogue encounters the brutal meta-mafia henchmen, their treacherous golden-skinned virgins, and a shadowy terrorist network determined to end the Maori king's reign. But Rogue's ultimate confrontation will be with the Duke of Death. Their fiery battle of wits will decide not only his own fate and that of the lovely bedmate Demi Giroux, but also the future of the solar system and its freedom from the Manchu Empire. That sounds fantastic, doesn't it? That sounds so good. If you have not read The Stars My Destination, I strongly, strongly recommend that one. We've got 4 more to go. Day of the Dragon Star by David F. Bischoff and Thomas F. Montalone. So this is a perfect Jurassic World made to order, made to last. Inside the miles-long spaceship, it was 160 million years ago. Day after artificial day, outwitting the carnivorous saurians that had devoured their shipmates, the two survivors of the Heinlein exploratory mission to Artifact 1 picked their way through the vast, horizonless jungle that filled the whole of this star-traveling terrarium. They did what a man and a woman struggling for survival usually do. They prayed for rescue. They searched for a way to escape. They fell in love. Then, from a rise in the forest, they saw a wall, and something on the wall saw them. That sounds okay. Yeah. I mean, it's got dinosaurs, right? How bad could it be? So, we have to go with that. Night of the Dragon Star by the same authors. So I don't know if this is the one first or the one after, but we'll find out from this. A miles-long spaceship on a journey between the stars. After establishing communications with the sentient dinosaurs aboard the gigantic alien warship Dragon Star, the human exploration forces were ready to reveal their accomplishments to an eager public. Then disaster struck. During a live holovision broadcast, something made the cooperative saurians go berserk, and began slaughtering and eating their former friends. At the same moment, the Dragon Star's access hatches closed down, imprisoning all aboard. Then, for the first time in centuries, the engines started up. So I imagine this is probably going to go night and then day. If you know for sure, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be the order. We have another David Bischoff. This is Mandala. Probably not set in the same world. She was as beautiful as her name. She left her peaceful planet for her coming of age, and love was to lead her as far as it was humanly possible to go. To the universe's dark heart, to the dying, drifting, man-made world that had once been the jewel in the galaxy, to the wondrous lost planet that held a secret and a power beyond all imagining. All the way to Mandala. So, it looks like your name is Alalif. Alalif? And we have one more. So this is James Blish. I think this is the only Blish I have. This is A Life for the Stars. The famous skyline still stood. The skyscrapers still towered. It was New York City, 1,000,000 miles from Earth. In a millennium of anti-death pills and spin-dizzy fields, Earth cities, one by one, leave the worn-out planet to find new wealth among unknown stars. Nice, short. The book is nice and short too. Like the description here is not catching me, but by God, I mean, it's a well-known author, and 142 pages. Yeah, we'll hang on to that one. I think they might all be okay. Looking backwards, probably the one at most risk, and maybe Mandala. And if I'm saying maybe on those, Dark Sky Legion, there's 3 of these I could see pruning out. We'll give it some thought. Stay tuned for another shelf tour for a tag that I really, really want to get to. And who knows what else. So have a great day, BookTube.